Really?
I'm fascinated by the comment she made about the pebbles.
Yes?
I'm just thinking about pebbles at the moment.
And what she meant? I'm not sure I remember.
She said that they'd made a journey of their own.
Yes. Well, they're still in transit, aren't they, pebbles? Are they not? Do they move around? All that shingle on Brighton Beach?
Yeah.
Are all those stones still there a year later?
No.
Or some of them are?
Some of them are. Much like people. Getting very profound.
Whoa! Steady on here. Steady on here.
Some of us are still here, some of us are moving on, and some of us are still in transit.
Have you ever heard of a book called The Meaning of Liff?
No.
It's by Douglas Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Turn that light on a second, because you've just mentioned something about pebbles. And I've got a copy of it, I think, in the bottom of my magic bag. No.
What, and it's a book about pebbles?
No, but there's a mention of what it is. I don't suppose anybody else. I'm sorry I'm miles away whilst I'm talking to you. But, I'm just going down my bag.
You know it's illegal to take pebbles off the beach?
I don't think it is.
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, no, it's theft. Yeah.
From whom?
I don't know who it actually belongs to, but the police can prosecute you. My friend was cautioned by the police for taking pebbles off Saltbean Beach to put in his water feature back at home. And he was actually cautioned by the police over it.
It's the kind of thing that leads some people to say, haven't they got anything better to do? This is a brilliant book, The Meaning of Liff, which I give to lots of people at Christmas. The reason that this copy that I'm showing you now isn't going to be given to anybody at Christmas is because, as you can see, the dog got hold of it. But I carry it around with me because it's got so many terrific little definitions. The idea behind the book is that there are lots of things in life that we all mutually recognise for which there is no word.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And what Douglas Adams and John Lloyd have done is they've got all the strange place names in Britain which actually exist, such as Des Moines, which actually is in America, Dewlish, Didcot, Condover, right? And they've taken those words and they've matched them to some of these experiences which we all recognise but for which there is no word.
Go on then, give us an example.
Okay. Alright. Osbaston. Osbaston is a point made for the 7th time to somebody who insists that they know exactly what you mean, but clearly haven't got the faintest idea. An osset. A frilly spare toilet roll cosy. Oshkosh, which is a place somewhere in Britain. Oshkosh. The noise made by somebody who has just been grossly flattered and is trying to make light of it. And you do, don't you? You go, oh.
You do, you go,
oh, God. Now, somewhere in here, there's one about pebbles, which is why I thought it's funny that I happen to have this book with me today. Shall I just do a couple more?
Yeah.
Right. A nubbock is the kind of person who has to leave before a party can relax and enjoy itself. Okay, this one's quite good because it's local, it's not brilliant. Nutborn. In a choice between 2 or more possible puddings, the one nobody plumps for. Aren't they good?
They are good.
And, you know, life is just so full of all these experiences, which when you realise that we all experience them. A libster. That is the artificial chuckle in the voiceover at the end of a supposedly funny television commercial. Yeah. You get that on the radio sometimes as well, don't you?
Yeah.
A luppet is the piece of leather which hangs off the bottom of your shoe before you can bother to get it mended. Which brings us back to cobblers and keys again.
Is there a word?
Yes.
There was a discussion the other day with someone. For, I'm sure there is, but I don't know what the word is. Say like I'd arranged to meet you outside the studios here.
Yes.
And say you were walking up from the seafront and I was walking down from the station.
Yes.
And we'd see each other.
Yes.
And then we're walking towards each other.
Yes.
That. Is there a word for that?
Yes.
And you don't, but you know what I mean? When you
Yes.
see them and you don't quite know what to do, do you
Yes.
then look down at the pavement,
This
or
is
do you...
spooky because there are several. Corey Arclet.
Yeah.
Corey Arclet. The moment at which two people approaching from opposite ends of a long passageway recognise each other and immediately pretend they haven't.
Yeah.
This is to avoid the ghastly embarrassment of having to continue recognising each other for the whole length of the corridor.
It's so true. It's so true. I never know what to do in that situation.
Well, there are a number of variations on this. Corrie Cravey. To avert the horrors of Corrie-Vorie, Corrie Cravey is usually employed. This is the cowardly but highly skilled process by which both protagonists continue to approach while keeping up the pretense they haven't noticed each other by staring furiously at their feet, grimacing into a notebook, or studying the walls closely as if in a mood of deep irritation. Where does this happen to you, then?
It just happens, doesn't it, in life? You know, you're going to meet somebody, or... I don't know, I just find it happens quite a bit.
Corriedou. The crucial moment of false recognition in a long passageway encounter. Though both people are perfectly well aware that the other is approaching, they must eventually pretend sudden recognition. They now look up with a glassy smile as if having spotted each other for the first time, and are particularly delighted to have done so, shouting out, "Hello!" as if to say, "Good grief, you here of all people! Well, I never, coo, stat me victuals."
It's very true.
Corrie Molly.
And what's that?
The dreadful sinking sensation in a long passageway encounter when both protagonists immediately realise they have plumped for the corriedou much too early and are still a good 30 yards apart. They were embarrassed by the pretense of Corrie Cravey and decided to make use of the corriedou because they felt silly. This is a mistake, as Corrie-Vorie will make them seem far sillier. Corrie-Vorie. Corridor etiquette demands that once a corriedou has been declared...
I'm declaring a corriedou.
Corrie-Vorie must be employed. Both protagonists must now embellish their approach with an embarrassing combination of waving, grinning, making idiot faces, doing pirate impressions.
Who does that?
Well, you do so, ha-ha, and waggling the head from side to side, whilst holding the other person's eyes as the smile drips off their face until, with great relief, they pass each other. This was pertinent to me because I used to work in a building, which was two buildings, and it was joined by an enormous sort of two-storey up corridor, which was about 15 feet wide and about 50 yards long. And this happened every time you crossed the bridge. You would have to do this with 2 or 3 people. You'd have to declare corriedou. Corriedou. Yeah, there's only one more, which is corrimuchloch. Yeah. A word describing the kind of person who can make a simple mess of, who can make a complete mess of a simple jog like walking down a corridor. So funny you should ask that. Yeah. A cotterstock is a piece of wood used to stir paint, and thereafter stored uselessly in a shed for perpetuity. And everyone's got one of those. Yeah, you have. You have. A cranley, which I quite like this one, because I occasionally suffer from cranleys. A mood of irrational irritation with everyone. No, I get those. I get the odd cranley. Cranley. What else have we got? A Bradworthy is someone who is skilled in the art of naming loaves. Well, that's a skill. If you go to the supermarket, they've all got... What it is you go to a baker's. Yeah. There's one in, where do we go? Wittering. And we fancy it, it's a nice baker's. And they're rare. So we think, let's get a loaf. So you go in, and there's all these loaves, and they're all different behind the people who are serving. Yeah. And you want that one, but you don't know what it's called. Oh, I see what you mean. And so you say, could I have one of those? Like, do you want a farmhouse or a tin? Yeah, exactly. Or a tiger. What's that? I like tiger bread. There you are. So you are a Bradworthy. Yeah. I didn't even realise it. No. No. You could tell the difference, couldn't you, between a baguette... Yes. ...and a big white roll. A bap. A bap? Yeah. You could... You are a Bradworthy. Have you ever baked a loaf? No. There you see, but you can tell the difference. Let's have a look. A boss castle is a huge pyramid of tin cans placed just inside the entrance of a supermarket. A blithbury is the look that somebody gives you by which you become aware that they're much too drunk to have understood anything.
That's the best one. What's it called?
A blithbury.
A blithbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sometimes am, the giver of the receiver of a blithbury. Because it's funny how you can get so tiddly that you're not making sense.
No.
But you're able to be aware that you're not making sense.
But it doesn't stop you anyway.
You have that moment when you ought to say, I'm terribly sorry, I think I'll get a taxi. But you don't, because you hope the other person will catch you up.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. But you see, doesn't it make you... One of the reasons I like this book is because it's both funny and there's something comforting about knowing that somebody else has had all these experiences. That we've all had. A benburb is it's described as a benburb, the sort of man who becomes a returning officer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I can't read that one out. That's a little bit intimate. Some of them are very reassuringly intimate. A ballycumber, one of the 6 half-read books lying somewhere around your bed. I could do this all night, but I won't. 08459570057 is the number. It's a particularly relaxed programme this evening, I think, because we've had a long day.
Yeah.
The show's been slightly different, what with a couple of excursions elsewhere. You can email us if you're at your PC. You know the address, I'm sure, but I'll do it quickly. tommy.boyd@bbc.co.uk, or you can text. It's 07786 20 70 70. Only taking calls. We're taking them unscreened, but we only take calls from people who reveal their telephone number. So if you block your telephone number when you make calls, which is quite legitimate to do, we're not going to take those calls because sometimes people will play sillies and we don't want to do that.
Hello, who's there?
Hi, it's Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, I'm reading The Meaning of Liff. I was going to bed and I just love this book. Peebles, I think that's what Tommy was probably on about, on page 107. Peebles, small, carefully rolled pellets of Skegness. But the one I love, just over the page, I've lost it, Piddlecentride.
Yes, we have to watch the piddle ones.
Yeah, I wasn't going to read it out, the meaning. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, hold on a second. Piddletrenthide.
Yes.
Yes, a trouser stain. We won't go there.
Exactly. But it's a wonderful book.
It is, isn't it? Plimpton, the pointless knob on top of a war memorial. Pogues, the lumps of dry powder that remain after cooking a packet soup.
Yes, it's a wonderful book.
It is West Wittering.
I haven't got... I've got to turn the page now.
Well, I'm just looking at places that are local to some counties. West Wittering. The uncontrollable twitching which breaks out when you're trying to get away from the most boring person at a party. Is there a Hove as well?
Oh, God, I've got to turn back a few pages now.
I've got Hove. It's page 72. Hove. Descriptive of the expressions seen on the face of one person in the presence of another who clearly isn't going to stop talking for a very long time.
It's a very good book.
And, yeah, it is. Thank you for that, Carol.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Night.
And there's one or two that I keep and actually do almost use. There's a Margate.
Yeah, what does that mean?
A Margate is a security officer with whom you are on first-name terms until the morning of a security check when you have forgotten your pass and he won't let you in. Okay, and there's another one, I can't remember which place it is, but it is described by Douglas Adams as being that part of your raincoat which is designed to be sat on by somebody else on a bus.
Yeah.
I've got an email from Jack Boyd, but I don't know whether it's family or not.
Jack Boyd.
Jack Boyd. I've got a Jack Boyd at home. This is probably a different Jack Boyd. He says, with all the sadness and trauma going on in the world at the moment, it's worth reflecting on the death of a very special person which almost went unnoticed last week. Harry Laprise, the man who wrote the Hokey Cokey. passed away peacefully at the age of
No.
93. What?
Oh, right, sorry, maybe I've got the wrong end of the stick.
No, you haven't.
No,
Is
it
that
is.
the right end of the stick? Yes. The most traumatic part for his family was getting him into the coffin. They put his left leg in and then the trouble started.
Someone told me that joke a few weeks ago. The cracking joke.
I like the way it's told here, though.
Yeah.
They put his left leg in and that's when the trouble...
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
The hokey-cokey.
Ed, I don't know if this is Dr. Ed, it's signed Eduardo Paris, which is a great name. If it's
Great
true.
name.
Yeah. He says, I think you're talking rubbish. I don't believe that Corrie, etc. exists. You made it up. Stop being so general. Be specific. I expect more incisive stuff from you with more passion. Well, I'm just going with the flow tonight because it's a nice, relaxed programme, isn't it? Take line 6, shall we? Go on, you have a go.
Hello, who's there? Gone.
Did they hop off? Right, try line 1.
Hello, who's there? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, dear. I'm glad you're feeling better. You take it easy now.
I will do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Make sure you do.
I will do.
What's the name of the book, dear?
It's The Meaning of Liff.
Liff?
Yeah, L-I... Is it double F, Tommy?
Yes, yes it is. What's your name, friend?
Christine.
Christine, yes, it's The Meaning of Liff, and it's a Bible for me.
Right. It's very good. It sounds excellent.
In fact, Liff is a place itself, you see.
Yeah, well, I know Liss is, but I didn't know Liff
I don't know. Shall I see if Liss is in here? I don't think... No, Liss isn't in here, but Liff is...
And what does that mean?
A Liff is a book, the contents of which are totally belied by its cover. For instance, any book, the dust jacket of which bears the words, "This book will change your life."
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's great, though. It sounds brilliant.
Well, good luck hunting it down.
It's called...
The Meaning of Liff.
The Meaning of Liff.
The Meaning of Liff by Douglas Adams.
Oh, right. Thank you very much.
Just released The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Kalami is the ancient Eastern art of being able to fold road maps properly.
You never fold them back properly, or I don't.
Steady on here.
Some of us are still here, some of us are moving on, and some of us are still in transit.
Have you ever heard of a book called The Meaning of Liff?
No.
It's by Douglas Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Turn that light on a second, because you've just mentioned something about pebbles. And I've got a copy of it, I think, in the bottom of my magic bag. No.
What, and it's a book about pebbles?
No, but
No.
There's a mention of what it is. I don't suppose anybody else... I'm sorry I'm miles away whilst I'm talking to you. Really,
I'm fascinated by the comments you made about the pebbles.
yes?
I'm just thinking about pebbles at the moment.
And what she meant? I'm not sure I remember.
She said that they'd made a journey of their own.
Yes. Well, they're still in transit, aren't they,
Yeah.
pebbles? Are they not? Do they move around? All that shingle on Brighton Beach?
Yeah.
Are all those stones still there a year later?
No.
Or some of them are?
Some of them are. Much like people. Getting very profound.
Whoa! Steady on here. Such as Des Moines, which actually is in America, Dewlish, Didcot,
Yeah.
Condover, right? And they've taken those words and they've matched them to some of these experiences which we all recognise, but for which there is no word.
Go on then, give us an example.
Okay. Alright. Osbaston. Osbaston is a point made for the 7th time to somebody who insists that they know exactly what you mean, but clearly haven't got... I'm just going down my bag.
You know it's illegal to take pebbles off the beach.
I don't think it is.
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, no, it's theft. Yeah.
From whom?
I don't know who it actually belongs to, but the police can prosecute you. My friend was cautioned by the police for taking pebbles off Saltbean Beach to put in his water feature back at home. And he was actually cautioned by the police over it.
It's the kind of thing that leads some people to say, haven't they got anything better to do? This is a brilliant book, The Meaning of Liff, which I give to lots of people at Christmas. The reason that this copy that I'm showing you now isn't going to be given to anybody at Christmas is because, as you can see, the dog got hold of it. But I carry it around with me because it's got so many terrific little definitions. The idea behind the book is that there are lots of things in life that we all mutually recognise for which there is no word.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And what Douglas Adams and John Lloyd have done is they've got all the strange place names in Britain which actually exist.